Happy Mahjong Saturday. I know it's been a couple weeks, but I would like to get back on my weekly schedule. National November Mahjong Month is not over. I mean, technically it is, but we can make every month National December Mahjong Month, National January Mahjong Month, National February Mahjong Month. We're just going to play Mahjong all year because Mahjong is fun. I'm going to do a strategy video today for Shanghai Mahjong, also called Chinese old style or Chinese classical scoring. And we're going to be playing without flowers because it adds a little bit of I don't know if it adds anything, but originally the flowers were completely optional. And I had originally pulled out my set to play some Reach, which doesn't use flowers, and I remembered that I needed to get a video together. So I thought, why not just do Shanghai style without flowers? So we're going to do some strategy, doing some random pulls, and trying to figure out what we're going to try and go for with that hand. Alright, so we've got our tiles already out and mixed up. Just going to push them out a little bit. We're going to say that for this first random pull, that the prevailing wind is east. And we're going to say that I am the dealer, so we're going to take 14 tiles. Alright, so in Shanghai classical Chinese scoring, the only thing that you get points for are pungs and kongs and pairs of honors. So we don't really have much chow. We've got chow potential here with the 1 and the 2. We have an isolated 5 in the cracks. We've got an 8 and a 9 if we wanted to turn these 8s into the pair. And we've got isolated 3 and 9 in the dots. So what I would go for with this pung of west, I would hang on to that because even though it's not our seat or the prevailing, we still get quite a bit of points for that, just being in our hand. And then I would try and pair up the dragon or the north, at least through to the middle of the second wall, at which point I would sacrifice those and get rid of them. But it looks like our main score is going to come from what we already have punged up. We can probably turn this into a chow. It won't give us any points, but it'll at least help us finish our hand. And then if we can pair up any of these isolated tiles, then we could turn those into potential pungs. And then, pairing these up would also allow us for additional pungs. So that's what I would do. I would focus on the pungs that we have, keep the chow potential to try and make us finish a little bit more efficiently, and then just try and pair up and pung what I can because we're not going to get any. It doesn't look like we're going to end up with a chow hand, so strategy of pair up and pung. Alright, so the tiles have been remixed, and we're going to say that East lost their hand, so the deal has moved to the south player, which means that we are now north. 11, 12. So we only have 13 tiles on this one, but now we're in north position. If I can manage this. Oh my goodness. I am not functioning this morning. Okay, so we've got a white dragon, 3, 5, 8, and 9, all chow potential, 2, 3 chow potential, 7 isolated, pair of threes, isolated 5, 8, and 9. So this might be a chow hand. We've got one more crack than dots. So if we're going to try and maximize our score, I would probably, since this 7 is isolated, this would probably be the first tile that I focus on getting rid of. And I would focus on keeping any cracks that came into the hand. Now, if these chow up, then, you've got 3 chows towards your hand. For this one, I might collect Northwind if they don't all go out and if they come in pretty early. But I try not to collect honors that aren't already in my hand. But if we start getting cracks, I would focus on trying to turn this into a half flush, and then to try and fill that out, maybe keep a Northwind, maybe try and pung the white dragon instead of just leaving it as a pair if we get that pair in. But if we start getting through the middle of the second wall and towards the third wall, I would just start chowing. So this would be a really interesting hand to see that sort of mix of defense and offense, because you could go out pretty quickly by punging, chowing, 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 and then trying to pair up something. But you're not going to get a whole lot of points. So this is one of those hands that I would play a mix of defensively and offensively. I would pay attention to what people are discarding, and I would keep a hold of what could possibly feed their hands. And then at the same time, I maybe would resist some of the initial chow potential, allow those to go through, take them later, if I wanted to go ahead and go out. Alright, so the tiles have been mixed again. We're still on East round. Dealer lost their hand, so dealership moved, and we are now West. So we've got 13 tiles. We've got a pair of green dragons. Pair of fives. Pair of fours. Okay, so we've got a pung potential, pung potential, pung potential. So we would definitely want to pair up one more, get a pung, so we have 4 pungs, and we just have to wait on a 5th pair. We do have one potential chow. Well, we actually have 2, edge weight and inside weight. But we've got these 3 isolated tiles. Actually, we've got 4 isolated tiles. So this is the bulk of our hand right here. And these are discards. So having these 4 discards to start off with really isn't bad. If we were playing Japanese Reach, we would be in a pretty decent position to maybe try and go for all simples. No, we wouldn't. We would get our Yaku by getting the Dragon Pung. But for traditional Chinese scoring, Shanghai style, I think we would be going for all pungs here. Maybe play dangerously and try and increase our score by keeping the 4, the 5, and the green dragon concealed. That's worth double points, anything that's concealed. Okay, so last random draw. Got the tile shuffled. Dealer has shifted. We are now in south position. If dealer loses, comes back to us, we move on to the next round. So we've got our 13 tiles. We've got dogs playing in the background, if you can hear them. Alright, so we've got a lot of winds here. We don't have the prevailing wind, but we do have our wind. So definitely hang on to that one. Alright, and we've got a major suit. We have more dots than we do cracks or bams. Now, the likelihood is we're not going to end up using all of these honors. What is more likely is that we're going to get rid of probably 3 of them are probably going to end up on the table. But if we're focusing on a half flush, we only have 4 discards starting out. Now we have to pair those, which means we have to draw them in, and then we have to pung them or hang on to one of them as our pair. But we already have a pair of 4s. But even if we break that up into a 3, 4, 5, into a 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6 pung or chow, if we do half flush, we still get that bonus multiplier. I think it would be better if we tried to turn these into some more pungs, because then our multiplier is applying to more points. But I think we're in a good spot to do a half flush. Now, the secret to playing with honors, especially when they aren't paired up already, when the second honor goes on the table, switch it to a discard. If you get halfway through the second wall, and this honor that you're holding on to, not a single one has gone down, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. You might give someone a pung, you might give someone a calm, but you know what? Halfway through the second wall, they're probably not ready to win. So if you're waiting on honors, none of them have gone down, none of them are exposed, get rid of them halfway through the second wall. If your hand really isn't coming together, and you see that it looks like someone is trying to hoard honor tiles, you can go into an ultra defensive strategy where you intentionally break up your hand, knowing that someone else is probably ready to win on a couple of honors, or at least someone is set on a couple of honors so they can start punging their pairs and just hoard them back. If other players have been discarding dots all game, but you just haven't gotten your dot hand together, start breaking up your hand. It's better to go out on a wall than it is to pay double for discarding someone's winning tile. Or I should say to be the only person who pays double because you discarded the winning tile. But this hand, half flush, try and pung. Otherwise, we're just getting rid of these and then pairing and punging. So I hope you liked that demonstration of Shanghai Strategy. I plan on doing this a little bit more. I would like to try and stay on the weekly publishing schedule. And I think I'll be alternating strategy hands and solitaire games. Solitaire just giving a feel for how the whole game goes. Strategy, just doing these random pulls and discussing what I would do with that hand. I did create a strategy guide, which I will link to in the description. It mostly just follows the biggest points of strategy, what I'm thinking about when I'm playing a hand. So if you decide that you play, if you decide that you like to play this style, or if you do play this style and you've got other strategy tips, let me know. Like the video, comment, love feedback, and also I'm going to get a haircut today. I've got mad scientist hair going on, but it's winter and it's cold out, and I have this tendency to shave most of my hair off in winter, and then I regret it the next day. So we'll see. But until I see you again, happy Mahjong Saturday.